Rolling.
Welcome back to Cleaning the Airwaves, the Playhouse feature. Hey, hold on, watch I start that again. I can't do such a bogus intro after eating that delicious food. Welcome back to the Playhouse featuring Muthoni Drummer Queen, aka MDQ. Where we left, first of all, thank you for that amazing lunch.
Absolutely.
Into
dinner.
The story has shikad, the conversation still going on. Let's continue this. Where you left this off is you had gotten a jobo.
Yeah.
Where does the story go from there?
So now, within like the first, I want to say 3 months, I see an announcement by British Council that if you're a musician, apply. There's this program we're doing called Bring the Noise. You're going to like collaborate with other artists from Africa. You're going to spend like some time in London creating. You're going to go on tour. Apply. I was like, is this another TPF?
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean? I'm like, am I ready to put myself through another? But anyway, I didn't have long to think. I found it today and it was closing tomorrow. So if you want to do this thing, you have a 24-hour window
to do it.
So Kasubui, I'm like, okay.
What do I have to lose?
Let me try. Let me just do it. Actually, the difference between trying and doing is like your belief or your intention. I'm going to remember, before we finish this, I'm going to remember the exact phrase. Mm-hmm. So anyway, just do it. Apply. You have to write an essay. They were celebrating 100 years since like the ending of slavery. There was something, it was like 200 years of the end of slavery. Mm-hmm. Something of Ghana turning 100. Kulikuwa na ka theme hapo.
Something.
Walikuwa invent theme tu hapo sawa. I was like, aina norma. So I wrote the essay. I remember I had my demo by this point. I submitted. In fact, I submitted the day after it had closed. But they told me, just submit. And then I got in and I couldn't believe it. And for a long time, the demo
which you just did when you were in the leaves.
Yani sasa imeisha. Sasa ile group imeisha na hata sina future.
Hini kwa miz. Pick me, drop me, take me, miss. Get me, collect me. Power now, dependency kwa. Charlie wow, my bestie wow. Now my Charlie wow, my bestie wow. When I'll give control kwa Mr. Write me a check, Mr. Pay my rent. Sister, watcha kunilenga, kuni resist. Unaelewa hiyo game even better juu. All your life umeget whatever. Umeplay game, umekuwa very clever. Lakini sasa wanakucheka, wanakudharau. What it means, not so clever. Juu wamekucheki, wamekusoma, wamekuona. They're onto you girl, na nikunosi. If you're using him as your taxi, your bank in general, KYM, elewa. Abdicate your responsibilities na kulimit your own possibilities. Submit kwa some other authority. So of course, at a demand kuwa priority. And now your self-esteem coming from your without. Not your surrounding yourself with positive beings. Unajivali kwa material things. Pretty sister, wajiongeza drama. Pretty sister, jitoe kwenye trauma. You can make amends, evaluate. Take some time, girl, now, and liberate. Sis, we can make new choices. Sis, we can fly. So high, so high. Get your mind right, girl. So high, so high. Get your mind right, girl. Sasa kwa my sisters.
Then I got in to Bring the Noise. So a long time I thought that it's because I wrote a good essay. And later, like the cultural officer then, Eva Kero, was like, no, because it was all dope. So I was like, okay. Anyway, so then I got in to Bring the Noise. So I was like, now what does this mean?
Let me ask a question, just even before you talk about getting in to Bring the Noise, just concerning this whole thing. Because where did you even find out about these things?
So that one, I don't know how the ad came to. It must have been a friend who forwarded me like an email or somebody sent to me the thing that said there's a... It was not at his special information. Yeah. Me, I even found it at the end. Mm-hmm. So I bet you it was sent to me by a friend. Somebody in my network, an office mate, somebody who just knows. Manze kuna mde mwingine hapa nasemanga ni musician.
I get.
Hebu mtumie hii project ya British Council.
Because you know why I said that? Because applying for opportunities is one thing. finding out about opportunities is a whole other thing.
Indeed.
Yeah. And down when I even continuing with your story, there's all this one beat and all these other different things that I'm just like, how does this Chile? Yeah.
So that one, but you remember, I told you already, we were in Wapi. We had already said going for Wapi. So I was generally in the British Council. At least in my mind, British Council was accessible because we go to there to watch Wapi.
I get.
Right? Wapi is where I saw Octo. Like, we used to go to Wapi was a thing. And like, kwanza kama unapenda hip hop.
Did you ever perform at Wapi?
So after the first time we performed when we were tight, it took me many years until now I came back with British Council to perform at Wapi again.
But with tight you performed.
Yeah, we performed.
So
with
no
tight.
wonder then this information probably
I suppose,
found a way. So that's the power of trying for opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, just going out there.
Yeah, and also just put yourself in networks. I was already in the WAPI network, which means I was in a network of information that goes to any artist who goes to British Council. I guess there was an email list. I really don't know how I got this information. But it was also like, just try. If you get, very unlikely you'll get in, but...
Hey, at least you did your bit.
So anyway, I followed the instinct. So I applied and then I got in.
How many guys were getting in?
Only one from Kenya.
What?
So they picked, how many artists were we? We were, I remember me, MI, Cameroon. Maybe we were like 10 artists from Africa.
But you were the one that they picked.
I was the only Kenyan in the project. Yeah. I was the Kenyan. So I also had a lot of imposter syndrome. Because I was like, according to Kenya, it ain't shit. I ain't shit. So how can I be the one now at the Kenyan in this project? So whereas you would think I was like overjoyed, I was just there having proper imposter syndrome. In fact, I was like, you guys have just chosen me because I know how to write a good essay. I know how to write.
You didn't think it was your music, yeah? You just said
that.
Yeah.
Asante sana kwa kunipa fursa hii ya kueleza mambo yanayonichanganya, kunikera, yananipa wazimu, kunichosha. Anasema mambo ya mapenzi hayawezi tena, mambo ya together hayataki, anataka tukuwa peke yake, lakini Mr. Brother simu wampigia usiku wa manane, roho kukutuliza. You're trying to find what you feel, but lying could never be real. Don't blow me off, brother. Don't blow me off, brother. Dismiss, don't blow me off, brother. Dismiss, don't blow me off.
So now on top of that, now I have to go and tell my mom, hey mom, okay, first before I tell my mom, I have to go to my boss and be like, hey boss, you know this job that I've just started, right? Remember that thing I told you how I'm an artist? Now I need to take out like 2 weeks to go to London to do the residency. After that, we have shows in like 7 or 8 African countries. So I'm going to be taking off during different times for currently unspecified amount of time. You guys, I was like, what kind of setup is this? So I agonized. When I got the letter, the email that you've been accepted, I just felt like I've entered like stress.
Yo, that is messed up.
Stress. I'm like, now it's gonna happen. I think I talked to David Mureithi about it. And it's just like, you have to do it. You have to do it. So I'm like, now what am I going to do? So first I go and tell my boss. I'm like, yo, I know what to do. Robert Lettington listens, is like, yo, that's so dope. Write me a letter, and then I'm gonna take you to the DG, to the Director General, to explain to him, I'm cool. You, if you're cool, I'm cool. You, if you can handle the workload, I'm cool. And like all the other scientists, Nyasha, Wale, they're all like, yo, this is late, bro, go. I'm like, oh. So, okay, at least now I have my boss's support. First, I have to write the letter. Then on the day to go to see the Director General, I was sweating. It's like going to the headmaster's office. So I go with him, he explains, he's like, okay, what's this thing? So I'm like, yeah, you know, African artists, collaboration, African unity, making music. This guy's a Pan-Africanist. He's like, man, that's such a good thing. It's important for your generation to form networks. How much time do you need? So then now my boss steps in, he's like, yeah, she needs like originally 2 weeks. She'll be having performances intermittently. I think as long as we're able to arrange the work, I'm confident she can do it. Boss yangu akanitetea. And the director general is like, yo, this is so dope. It's a Pan-African thing. I'm good if you guys are good.
What kind of support is that?
That is called a miracle.
What kind of
I
support
went to
is
the
that?
loo, I cried. Yani, I was just there, tears. I was like, cool, at least now. Then I'm not fired. The DG was like, this means that your contract stays. We're not going to fire you. If your line manager feels confident that you can handle it, you can. If things change, we'll address it at that point.
Yep.
But right now, if you need to go and make music to
Go
some
do
other
your
Africans to talk about now how Africa nini, end of slavery, whatever, go do that thing, man. I was like, aye, bro. Now the last
At least
hurdle.
you're going to mom telling her, hey, I still have a job.
Exactly. That's the last hurdle. So I had to go in with like, I have good news and I have good news.
Nice. Actually, that's
So I've
true.
been nimeingia hii project ya British Council na wanalipa kila kitu. Tutaenda London 2 weeks. Watafanya kila kitu, hata visa kila kitu. Na tutalipwa hiyo kazi. It was like maybe pounds and all those things. It was like 2 sock and something. Jeez, my bro.
Yes, then.
My mom is like, kwani hii ni nini? Kwani hii project ni nini? So I was like, she likes the project parts. I'm like, yeah, you know nini, think about like it's reflecting on like colonialism, Africa, nini. Venye tu unajua venye unajenga tu, mzazi wako venye atakuelewa. And then she's like, na kazi, I'm like, I have the other good news. Director General amesema niende niwa represent sana. Ni make sure Kenya is represented well with other African artists. Job yangu bado iko. So she's like, utaenda na utalipwa ya kazi yako na hii ingine ulipwe. I'm like,
Yo.
see what I mean?
I told you, I'm making it happen.
Na naenda London, sure.
Before that, it was just that time we had to, is it
Thailand,
Thailand?
hiyo tu. Hakuna place ingine nienda before that. Tulikuwa tumeenda Uganda na youth. But tulienda na basi, hatukuwa tumepanda ndege. Sasa tunaenda London. Manze, hiyo kitu ili impress mama yangu. I think hapo ndio alikuwa like,
maybe this music thing.
Skeptical. I'm not saying yes or no, but he sisemi no sana. Off I go. London.
First, let me get this. Let me understand this. You know, this is such a big thing. Different Kenyans have applied for this thing. They only selected you.
Yeah.
And the name of this thing is now
Bring the Noise.
Bring the Noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to Bring the Noise. I meet dope artists. That's where I met MI. MI and I became friends at Bring the Noise. MI is my broski for life. And man,
so was it showing you that this is the kind of caliber? Did you begin believing?
So first it's like meeting all these artists, right? Then there's this idea of collaboration. I've never even done this. Remember, except for Jerry, whoever have ever written songs, so now you have to collaborate. You have to bring perspectives. You work in smaller groups, bigger groups. You're recording. We're working with like a producer from London. We're working at the Roundhouse in Camden, which is like a venue, like as in Bongela venue. Camden is like culture, like that's where Amy Winehouse is like made her life.
Yeah.
Camden is amazing. It's just artistry. Just walking around, me being like, yo. And also me being like, but how will this thing actually happen? Anyway, after 2 weeks of residency, we'd recorded music, whatever. So now I saw what a performance venue should look like. And I was like, noticed, this one I'm going to have in my life. Ting, I got it done. I know that's a thing that I'm doing with my life, to have a venue. But a multi-use venue. Understood. Higher next. Now you can work with people you don't know, dope, and the music can be dope, yeah. And then you can
and this
perform.
was an incubator of sort as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can perform for an audience who don't know who you guys are and don't know what the music is, and you can still kill it. That I learned from Bring the Noise. It is not required for the audience to know who you are. Now remember, I already knew this with Tight.
Yes.
In 2004. But since 2004, the way life has brought me, it has beaten me down after TPF, where I'm like, maybe I'm the one who's wrong. So now Bring the Noise has come around to be like, sorry, you've been right. You've been right, bro. Check this thing.
Look, you're the
Stop
only
being an
selected
imposter.
person.
Hey, wachana na imposter syndrome yako. Andika mawimbo poa poa hapa. Mnaenda kuperformia wase amjui wase wa London. Now my homies who are in uni in London, who've been living there, they all pulled up. God bless them forever. So in the London show, my homies were in the front row. My sister was doing her masters by that point, I think, in London. So she brought her homies. So at least front row ilikuwa imejaa. Watu wetu. Man. So doing that show, maybe seeing how proud my friends were, like, look at you, you're doing a gig in London. And I'm like, snap, I am doing a gig in London. I still don't have a recorded song except the rugby one, but here I am with all these other like London people. We've recorded music, now we have networks. So we come back, and for the next few months, so I think it was like between September, the project ended in March of 2008. Or April. So we toured Uganda, Tanzania, Cameroon.
So weekend would come,
Ethiopia.
You guys fly out and you meet.
Yeah, so you like, see now so you take the show to every of the countries represented. But I wasn't able to go to Senegal, and I didn't do Senegal.
Why didn't you do it?
I didn't do Nigeria. So at that part in the project, they decided that the West African cluster would go to West Africa and the East Africans. But I went to at least 6 countries. And because mnaenda kwa jina ya British Council, project ya British Council, mnaenda show za maana. So like Tanzania tuliperform Sauti za Busara festival, prime time. British Council ni sponsor. Hivyo mko prime time kwa festival, bro. Cameroon, we were like in the National Hall of like Culture. Like as in tulikuwa Uganda, we were at a thing called Chogom. Commonwealth Heads of State meetings. Wale wase walikoloniziwa na Britain, somehow bado wanakuanga tu makoloni. So wao huenda kumit queen wao every couple of years, a head of state. So it's only presidents. So also like you're staying at Serena. Like your life is good, bro. So I was like, so this is touring.
Your story is unique. How can you be touring like that, bila song?
We just continue wimbo za project.
Yeah, I know what I mean is you.
I know what you mean.
Like,
I know exactly what you mean. That was also me. I'm just like, okay. So now when I finish, now in British,
but did
noise,
that show you the power of? Did that open up your mind and make you say, listen, my music is not just for Kenya?
So that confirmed to me that I am an artist. My artist instinct was right. And so that brought my confidence back.
Sweet.
That's what Bring the Noise did. And then it also showed me that kawe ni mdope, there'll always be an audience for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, perfect. Now those are the 2 things I took. Then out to 2007, so there was a stupid election. We decided now we are going to post-election each other to death. So I was so frustrated. I was so angry. For a long time, I had a social political consciousness. Like living in the ghetto, going through like what is it called?
Police brutality.
Going through Riara. Just seeing like the socio-economics is different. Seeing like some people have a car, some people don't have. When we got a car, that now it meant like, oh, us guys are like now. Tuko ghetto, but sisi tuko bougie. Hata off I was telling you, nyumba yetu tulikuwa na choo ndani. So already hata kwa hiyo plot, nyumba hizo mbili zilikuwa na self-contained. So you just start to see like socio-cultural structure. I grew up with a very strong sense. I was very aware of Kenya. My parents talked a lot of politics. Not my parents, my dad and my uncles. Like all Kenyans. Kenyans are obsessed with politics. Let's be honest. So I grew up listening to like politics, thinking. I could follow the news. I understood like if my parents were watching the news, I knew what they were watching on the news. Like, yeah, like those meetings when like DP said doing meetings and like my dad are going for meetings and it's illegal to do meetings. So I grew up with a social political consciousness. So now to watch 2007 Kenya just like falling apart because of what?
Tribalism or...
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, but Kibaki, you were meant to be the good guy. What are you doing, bro? In 2000, I didn't even tell you that, but in 2000 after Form 4, no, IB, when was the election? For 2002. So the year we finished...
IB. International, St. Mary's.
So IB2. In the year I finished IB2, one of my besties of life, her auntie was running in Ukambani. So obviously, sini KYMs. So me in 2002, I did that thing of being like a returning officer for a candidate where you have to go to a polling station.
Yeah.
We took her for campaigning. There's another place where we went campaigning, tukafukuzwa. We were like jumping on like the tracks to get away. She's a woman contender. They didn't want. I saw a lot. I was very, my political consciousness came very early in my life. So I was like, yo, Kenya is in crisis. We were doing the gig in Ethiopia. And I remember just being so uneasy because I was away from home. And now there is like
the drama.
Yep. So then I wrote the song Cool Waters. And I was like, this is going to be the first song of my EP. Now it's time to put out the EP. I have to put out an EP. Now I've been known there's a thing called an EP. So you can put together 3 songs and record. Or 4 songs, and you put that out as your tape. It's like dope. My first tape is gonna be about this stuff in Kenya, and you know, Nairobi is actually a Maasai word. It means a place of cool waters. It was their home. It was taken by the British forcefully. Now look at the things happening in Nairobi, money and power. It's the youth who are put to be on the street, but it's the old people who have all the money. I was so frustrated, so I was like, let me just write to this song, Nini, my feelings. I came back, I told Helen, yo,
I need to record something.
He's like, girl, got you. There's another guy called Romeo. Romeo is a drummer. Her excellence.
Yep.
Romeo had a studio in
Tao.
Mi nilifanya akiwa South B.
Okay, sir.
Kejengine ndogo. Bedroom moja walikuwa meconvert. Mi na bibi ya Romeo tulikuwa tunaheshimiana, so it was dope. She was comfortable with me being in their home. So I recorded my 3-track EP. Now when I came back from, now Bring the Noise in between over here, then I was like, okay, I have to put out my project. How am I gonna put out my project? What am I gonna do? Then my friend Lee Kanyotu.
That's where Lee comes in.
How did I meet Lee? Who recommended me to Lee? I don't know, but I directed the first video. I asked my office, yo, you guys, can I shoot my video in the hall? I just need like the drop down, like like beamers, like a screen so that I can be able to do things. My boss is like, yeah, boy, use it. And like our DG, he was like, yeah, on Saturday, Muthoni will be shooting a video in the hall. Sent out an email to colleagues. Guys are like, hey. So I'm like, okay, cool. So CB mali ya kampuni.
Yeah.
Tukaenda tukashoot video ya Cool Waters.
Town called Cool Waters, yet your people are thirsty. Tears have run dry, praying for you only. Your youth are running the streets, turning them into a battlefield. Depending on your tribe, they kill your child and take your wife. Forget the price was already paid for this. Blood was already shed for peace. Cool water, yes, cool water. Take away trouble, trouble, trouble me now. Trouble in the heart, yes. Trouble in the mind, yeah. A town called Cool Waters, yet you're no longer quenching. Money and power is taking them higher, while you are hungry hungry for food. Justice and truth, they teach us a lie, divide us by tribe and hide while we die. They forget the price was already paid for this. Blood was already shed for peace. Cool water. Yeah. Cool water. Cool water.
And then I was like, that feeling of like, now I'm an artist for real. Because now I have
Your first video.
my first video and my first project. We're gonna put this thing on YouTube. And like, let's just see what happens. And it's a dope video. And it's so simple. And like me and Lee, we shot that thing for like 6 hours. We got it. And it's like, boom. And now from there, 2008, I officially became an artist in my mind. I'm like, ding, finally. Artist.
Did you take that song out to be distributed? Did you take the song to
Yeah,
radio?
I took the song to be distributed, but I felt like Cool Waters was a song. I just wanted to be. I felt primarily the song should have been on YouTube.
Yes, okay.
Because I just felt like a lot of people are going to watch the song and it's social political. I don't know if people are really gonna play. Chow at Capitol played it. In fact, I think maybe it's Chow. And Ghetto Radio also played it.
Nice.
They invited me to do like something, so Ghetto Radio played it.
So you're a media press, but of course you're doing media press with.
No, we can't really call it media press. Okay.
Need to interview.
To interview mziki. Now, my uncle, everyone in our family knows I'm a musician.
Uh-huh.
There's a song. So now it's still early in the game, early in the days of 2008. I think that came out before the end of quarter two. The whole,
Yeah.
I finished the touring, I put out the EP. I've even done a Code Red gig.
Which one?
Grown and Sexy. I think I did my first Grown and Sexy.
Poji hooked you up.
Wait, no, I think Grown and Sexy was the next year. Maybe I'm Narakisha story.
Okay.
Yeah, so me and Styles, that's a whole other story. Damn. Anyway, now I reached a point, I'm like, okay, so now what should happen more? Even my colleagues are like, so you're gonna do more. I have 3 songs on this EP. There's another song called Mambo Bado, which I'm like, man, that song it's a hit. If I sing that song, it's gonna be like, I just need to put that out. I'm here scheming. My colleagues are like, yo, what's up? So you're gonna drop more music? I'm like, damn. Oh, my fans is bugging. All 10 of them. Oh, my fans is bugging. Oh, what am I gonna do, man? I need to do more music. How am I gonna do this music thing? Damn, what's gonna happen? I'm still doing my gig in Das. Now, what has happened is now I play my music, just like my first concert. I play some of my music. I've started writing music again.
Yeah.
So I'm now writing some of my music because of Bring the Noise. Now I opened that part again. And still some of the covers, I'm doing it. Now I'm starting to see the gig is having diminishing returns. So before I would pre-finance, I have a salo. So I pre-finance the gig, hiring the van to move equipment from our house to Helon. If Helon has a gig, we have to hire from somewhere else. Nini, kulipa band.
Yep.
I pre-finance and I make from ticket sales and money at the bar.
At Das now.
At Das.
Yes. Okay.
Now tumefika hapa sasa katikati ya mwaka, ninaona hii show ya Das, ninaweka pesa yangu before ilikuwa inanirudishia. Sasa irudi.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm like, okay, maybe it's so there's a
Das was
combination.
going down.
Now I can't grow the audience more. Das is a pretty small place. If
Yep.
you've watched my show like 5 times in a row, you're like, Muthoni, wazi. Meet next time, as in next year. This year sikuji tena. So, and then now he starts telling me, the owner, yo, the money at the bar, guys didn't drink today. I'm like, what do you mean? So ile pesa ninapata kutoka Das inaenda ikipungua. So then I had to have a really difficult conversation with myself because I'm like, yo, this gig has not only reached its saturation point, it's now giving you diminishing returns. So you gotta keep it real.
Cut the leg off, man, and don't die.
Exactly. So either you quit music or you quit this situation. So I'm like, nah, I'm not quitting music. I just came back, bro.
I got a video.
And I got a tour under my belt already. You, how many Kenyan artists do you know who've performed in London, Siju in Cameroon, in Ethiopia? You've performed in Addis Ababa. Have you slept in the Hilton in Addis Ababa? I think not. Mziki yangu nye ilinipeleka huko. So si quit mziki. I need to change the situation. So I call my homie Rachel Gishinga and Emukule Kirapa. I'm like, you guys, let's go to Arboretum and sit. I tell you my problems. You guys help me to think, because me, I'm feel stuck. So I went into that conversation. I went to tell them I want to leave DAS because of the situation. I'm thinking if I can get another venue. So if you guys can help me evaluate which is another dope venue. Emukule is like, nah, bruh. Even if you find another bar, all bar owners are the same. After a while, if you're saying that the audience is tired of seeing, are you going to be able to change your repertoire every 2 weeks? Because now I was doing the gig bi-weekly. Are you going to be able to change your repertoire bi-weekly? No. So then, sis, utakuwa na the same problem with a new venue. And since all bar owners think the same, your solution isn't to get a new venue. Your solution is to get a new format. So now let's write this gig, write everything. Why are you in DAS? I'm like, man, it's Westy, it's Party Central, it's easy to locate. Friday night, everybody's like looking for a plan. I'm an easy. I wrote all the things, and he's like, cool. Now let's just do the opposite. So instead of doing a gig that's near, do it far. Instead of doing a gig on a night that is convenient for gigs, do it on a day that nothing happens. Don't be incidental. Let someone choose you. Why even doing this thing at nights? We just do this thing during the day. Something. Uko far, uko kina Bev's place. Something. Call it something. Wines,
I heard you said Rachel.
I mean, Bev, Kabuya.
No, but...
Rachel Gishinga, another friend of mine.
It's not Rachel Bev's sister.
No.
Okay.
At this moment, so Rachel and Bev, I know them because they are my friends, cousins. Hata tumeenda kwa Tayana for the opening prayers. Juu mama yao ameretire, ameanzisha spa. Na mama yao aliniona. They came, the mom and the daughters came for a gig of mine in Allianz. In 2007, si sasa niko na EP.
Yes.
See, now you have to try and do shows in different places to get audience. So when I did my show at Allianz Francais, they came because also like my friend Nyokabi was like, manze pull up. So waka pull up na mama yao. The mom was like, oh, you're so dope. If you ever need anything, holla, I'm a fan.
What?
But I didn't know what that would mean. A few months later, she's retired. We've gone to bless her spot. She has an outdoor spa in Ridges. It's called Tayana. So it was all of us, akina kule, all the homies. So we've gone, tumeomba, tumebless. She's like, manze mfikirie kitu tunaweza fanya ya kumarket place. Your story tukaacha. Ni venye tu wazazi wanaongeaga. So sawa. Now I'm with Kule in the park. Kule is like, do something. Like over there, kina Bev's place, something. I'm like, you know, that was before Kiambu Road looked like how Kiambu Road looks now. Okay? I'm like, Emukule, are you actually suggesting that guys leave their house?
To come all that way?
On Sunday, because that's the only day that nothing happens. It's like, yeah, bruv. Then guys just come through. They come like with their blanket, their wine, whatever. Guys just chill on the grass.